An immigrant from Central Africa came to America for a better life. Instead, a killer took it all away with one request. Suzanne Spencer with how this case from Milwaukee's River West neighborhood took a cold turn.
He just loved coming out, dancing, having a good time, especially with some of his African countrymen.
Abraham Asana left Africa for the promise of a better life, but still craved the feeling of home.
It was reggae night. Everyone seemed to be having a good time.
It was that search for nostalgia.
There really wasn't no reason to shoot him.
That ended on a warm summer night.
He collapsed in one of the other patrons' arms, and that's when we realized something major had happened.
A killer taking the life right out from under him, and the person who may hold the answer.
I would call him at this point a person of interest.
Anybody out there with any information, whatever you know.
A promise left unfinished for a family left behind.
Please look into your heart. Look at my face. Think about my 2 children.
The Asanas knew how to overcome.
Like anybody else who's an immigrant to a different country, you come to find better for your children. And that's what we did.
Rain and Abraham from Africa to Milwaukee. She was in school. He had a medical background.
He makes every situation turn into something better.
Devout in his faith, his African heritage, and his family.
Stand up for yourself, you know what I mean, get your education, and just always make sure to take care of your mom.
That's Asana's son Harold, now 22, who never thought one of his father's life lessons would reveal itself at age 14.
He used to always tell me, there's gonna be a day when I'm not here. And what are you gonna do? He'd always ask me that question, what are you gonna do when I'm not here?
A day that came sooner than anyone had hoped.
But if someone wakes up on a faithful morning and your thought process is, today I'm gonna take a life, something is very wrong.
June 30th, 2012, Abraham was at Club Timbuktu in River West.
They have a group of friends from different African countries, Nigeria, Ghana, Sierra Leone. They all meet together.
Milwaukee police cold case detectives say it was late when Asana stepped out with a woman to have a cigarette.
The victims here weren't doing anything but enjoying themselves at a club.
2 men approached from down the alley.
One of those 2 men pointed the gun at them and demanded property from both of them.
Asana handed over his wallet, the female victim her purse, before one more strange request.
Mr. Asana obviously didn't want to do that, but did. He complied, took off his shoes, and he then turned to run, and that is when he was shot.
It was one bullet to the chest.
He ran into the club, basically into the arms of a patron that was inside, who he told that he had been shot.
Detectives searched for what could have went wrong here at Club Timbuktu when their perspective widened about who did this, when they found key evidence in other parts of the city.
This is a number of miles away from the incident actually occurred.
The first lead took police to the north side.
We're approaching the area of 24th and Keefe. The female victim's purse was located near this area, reportedly.
Someone had called police claiming to find the woman's missing purse while taking out the garbage.
It's kind of a no real reason for why the purse would be in this area, other than would be known by the person that put it here.
Detectives shifted to what else was taken, the wallet that belonged to Asana.
Abraham's wife was able to find out when the cards were last used, and they realized there was a purchase made after this crime had been committed.
That led them 3 miles away to cameras at Judy's Red Hots.
Mr. Asana's card was used just over 2 hours after the homicide, purchasing food by a subject at Judy's Red Hots.
Given the short time window that they had between this crime happening and the cards being used at the restaurant, it really narrows it down for us. So that person is definitely somebody we need to talk to.
A talk with whoever was behind that $11 transaction and how they got that card.
There's obviously a network of at least 2 people involved in this, and most times they don't keep those things to themselves. We also believe that there's people inside of Judy's that know exactly who that was using that card.
A picture released 8 years ago that now signifies a case gone cold.
The video depicts a person of interest that we are asking the public to identify.
But to this family, it remains a snapshot of hope.
I feel like a lot of people know something, but They're just afraid to come forward.
A man who gave up everything for his family, forced to do the same for a stranger who took it all away.
We want to have justice for Abraham Azana.
This is your burden. You are the one who decided to take Abraham's life for whatever reason, but doing the right thing will set you free.
With photojournalist Eric Litzai, Suzanne Spencer, Fox 6 News.
If you know anything about this murder, call the Milwaukee Police Cold Case Unit. We have links to their social media page on fox6now.com.